It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this for December 21st, 2022. For the next hour or so, let me help you sort through the world of gaming on Game Mess Mornings Live with me, Jeff Grubb. Today, there's still time for that game you were waiting for to shadow drop. But first, please join me in welcoming today's co-host to Game Mess Mornings. It's Lucy James from Giant Bomb, everybody. Lucy, how are you feeling?
Was that about Sports Story or was that about a Hollow Knight Silk Song? Because either way, I feel like people are going to get disappointed.
It's whatever you need it to be. For me, it's about Metroid Prime Remaster and my precious hair. How you doing? How was your 2023? Or 2022, excuse me. How'd your year go?
It's been a very weird year where I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to my friend and I mentioned something had gone wrong, and he just went, "Wow, you're having such a shit year."
It's always good to have friends to put things in perspective for you.
No, but then I thought about it, and he was right. Things have piled up. But if anything, to be real, on Maine,
please.
It's been a good year, as in that it showed that even when shit can go wrong, I'm not going to spiral, and that the drugs and therapy work.
Hell yes.
So
and that's important. It's an important lesson.
It's a very important year.
You have to learn it over and over, but it's still important to keep learning it. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So it's been such a weird year, but I'm very ready, not for it to be over, because I don't like wishing. I got a cold. What the hell? It's very cold here in general in San Francisco.
It's been cold there for weeks. What's going on?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's also California, so it's not actually cold.
No, well, yeah, I know.
But the place isn't built for actual cold.
That's what we talked about. That's what I was on the Bondcast. People are like, "Oh, it's just 50 degrees. Get over it." But you have no insulation, single pane windows. It's a completely different environment.
Every exterior wall in my apartment is 70% windows.
Yeah, and it's those shitty windows that aren't going to keep the cold out.
Yeah, I've got plastic on my windows, basically, just to try and make them a little bit better. But no, and so I don't want to wish my life away. 2022, very good year in terms of work stuff and in terms of reconnecting with my friends. And so I'm not ready to wish the days away for 2023, but I am so excited just to not have an alarm for 10 days. Gonna see some friends, gonna eat some food. All of this shit probably going to Ben Miller, my godson. Gonna see him over Christmas. They just got a dog. So it's gonna be a fun time. How are you doing? How was your 2022?
Pretty good. I learned that if I put my tongue at the top of my mouth when I'm talking, I can control my speech patterns better. And I learned that while doing this show. I wish I could remember the episode so people go back and actually find it. But I'm gonna try this and see if it works. And I started doing it in the intro. I'm like, wow, I'm not stumbling over my words. It's oh, I think my tongue is supposed to go here. So
what?
So I think I was just lazy throughout my entire life, and so I was always mumbling like this and just let my tongue hang down here. Listen, you don't understand. You're British. You guys use your tongue a lot, and in America we just go blah 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 blah. And so I realized, okay, I need to have some elocution going on in my life. So I moved my tongue up to the top of my mouth like this. And now
you're not talking.
When I am talking, I force myself to push it up to the top of my mouth. So now that I've slowed down and actually have to enunciate the words, and the things come out in a much clearer. It's better. It's much better for me. So it was a big skill I learned this year. Mouth skills.
Mouth skills. Would you want to know another mouth skill related to
Absolutely. I'm
tongue?
so into mouth skills.
Is that so? When you're on the side and you get kind of this.
Yeah. Whoa.
If you put the tongue at the top of the mouth, you kind of get rid of that.
You talk about mewing. Are you talking about mewing? Is that the thing?
Oh yes, yeah. Mewing.
That's actually where I get the idea from. I was saw someone talk about that, and they're like, "That's where the tongue's supposed to rest." I'm like, "Well, I'll try that," but I mean, who knows what that? If it seems like a lot of work, and again, lazy. But at the very least, I'm like, let me just see if that's where the tongue is naturally supposed to rest. I'm definitely not doing that when I'm resting, let alone kind of bringing it back up there in between words or anything like that. But yeah, it's
articulate with the tip of the tongue and the teeth.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I get that. I've never taken elocution lessons at all or anything, but so I used to have a very, very strong Geordie accent. So if you're British, you'll know best accent in the UK.
Sure.
But then
I've seen the tier list. I know what you mean.
But then I went to work for an international TV company called Jinx.
They're like, get that shit out of here.
Yeah, no, they basically were like, no one's gonna be able to understand you. Blah 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 blah. We need you to speak the Queen's. But luckily, so my stepmother was actually a newsreader, and she speaks like the Queen. She has the perfect British accent. And so she was trying, I think at one point, to teach me how to not speak like this when I was talking, because otherwise I'd be mispronouncing every single one of my consonants. Anyway, and so that's why my accent is such a weird mashup of everything. But no, Judy's big thing was, Judy here, was, don't say if you don't know, don't use a filler word, just take a little pause, take a brief pause, and then move on.
That I'll never be able to do. I'm never going to be able to get over the filler words. So I guess you know what? Maybe you know what? I shouldn't doubt myself. 2023, I'll give it a practice. But yeah,
2023 is when Giant Bomb all gets elocution lessons and is better at articulate. I think we're actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good, and also I think the way that I do my ums and all rights, it helps people reset and know, oh, he's switching to a new idea now, and. So it's been pretty useful, I think. I know that, like, even Jess was, like, doing timestamps on the Bombcast. She's like, that's helpful. I'm like, hey, okay, I'll keep doing it then. Yeah, all right. All right, we should get into this mess. And before we do, let's explain what we do here. Each weekday, I, Jeff Grubb, will help piece your gaming life back together. You could hear the tongue moving up to the top of the mouth halfway through that sentence. That includes breaking news and maybe even some of my own original reporting. For all these topics, I'll get the input of a bona fide expert who will make me look smart. If you are watching live on Twitch, welcome. You can always listen to the show later on podcast feeds by searching for Game Mess Mornings or find the RSS on giantbomb.com. Shout out to the RSS gang out there. You can also catch the show later with chapters and timestamps on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. All right, we have a lot to get into, so let's start the morning mess with a new 2D Mario is being rumored. Let's hope it leaves behind the new Super Mario art style. That comes from Brett Medlock at Destructoid. Leaker Zippo. And Zippo is someone who has leaked a lot of Nintendo stuff in the past. No one's got a perfect track record on this stuff. Zippo is a pretty decent one. I'm at least willing to hear out this rumor that claims that back in last August, he said, hey, a new 2D Mario game was in the works. It'll have an art style that will surprise people. I think we might have talked about that, maybe on a Grubb Snacks or something. They also claimed it will feature online multiplayer. Lastly, this alleged new 2D Mario game will not be part of the new Super Mario Brothers series. Now Zippo is saying that the alleged 2D Mario game will apparently feature Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, the same cast as Super Mario Brothers 2. And they haven't actually used that cast like that since Super Mario Brothers 2, at least not in a 2D Mario game. So this will be sort of 35 years between being able to play as Peach as a main character in a 2D Mario game. This sounds more probable to me because they have the movie coming out. Do you think that makes sense? Lucy, I think you're muted. I'm going to go ahead and give you a second to hit that button. Or no, she's not muted. So we are not getting you at all. Let me double check, make sure. There we go.
There we go. Oh, you know what? I love an Elgato product.
Yeah.
But having to unplug and replug every time something goes wrong, kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I was going to say, why are leakers always called shit like Zippo?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's the Zippo, the Snitch. I think the Snitch retired, or was that a joke? I don't know.
Oh, God.
They're all out there doing their thing.
I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like there's any cool way of being a leaker and not calling yourself something like stealth drop, you know? Fucking...
Sneak bag. And
Sneak bag.
It's like that the guy from that Mystery Science 3000 episode. Large McBig Huge. Secret hidden door or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be my name going forward.
God, but anyway, yeah, I mean, that makes sense to me. I personally would prefer the sequel to Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
And I guess, like, what was it? Bowser's Fury was sort of had elements of where the series could maybe go, which was exciting. But I've never really been a 2D Mario person. probably sacrilege, but I never had Nintendo as a kid, so bite me. I'm kidding. No, I played a bunch when I was younger on like friends' consoles, but I never had my own until I had a Game Boy Color, but that was only for Pokemon and the Mummy Returns video game.
Yeah, the two pillars of that system.
The two best sellers of that system. So I think, that would be really cool. I'm very interested to see about this art style.
Yeah, right. You want an art style that surprises is like, oh, we need that for Mario, for a 2D game.
We need it, and I'm sure the internet's going to react in a completely normal way.
I mean, I think you're right, but as long as it's not new 2D Mario, or I'm sorry, a new Super Mario Brothers again, I think a lot of people will be pretty happy. There is talk like they're going to try to make things look a little bit closer to the movie model, especially in terms of like
ass.
Yeah, flat ass, and the clothes that they're wearing. Like, the overall is going to be emphasizing the flat ass. I guess I'm not. At least that. Will that happen in the games? Maybe. I think it's definitely going to be happening in a lot of the ancillary products that will be coming out. But I guess it wouldn't surprise me.
I like to think that in the Mario Bible, the Mario lore book in the vaults of Nintendo, Mario has a dump truck, and we can't change that for any game. Thank you very much. I would say, I know there's a lot of stuff happening with the movie. Super Nintendo Land is opening up at Universal. This rumored game. I really don't hope. I hope that they don't change Charles Martinet and they can't rip anything else away from that man.
Yes.
He has to voice him. He has to voice him in the game, in the park, everywhere. I'm hearing fucking Chris Pratt.
Yeah, that's a line too far.
I'll write an angry tweet. That's what I'll do.
That's right. I think that is legitimately a line too far. If Chris Pratt replaces Charles Martinet in the games, I think that's very unlikely, just based on like probably having to pay Chris Pratt like Hollywood prices to come do video game voiceover. But who knows? Nintendo's crazy. Shigeru Miyamoto has got a major crush. So, I mean, at some point, we're going to have to deal with that. And hopefully it doesn't go that far.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be a Kiefer Sutherland situation.
Yeah.
It's just for one.
Yeah. Then have to go back or just completely abandon the series because you screwed it up so bad with all the company you're working for and the character you had. I think that this is probably going to be something that does launch alongside the movie. This sounds right. And you nailed it. You hit the nail on the head with Bowser's Fury, where that is a 3D Mario game that has come out since Odyssey. It was this small offshoot thing, but it was probably taking up the time and efforts and resources of that 3D Mario team. So they probably aren't ready with an Odyssey 2 ready to go as much as I would really, really want them to be. So, and then at the same time, they probably still want some sort of Mario project to go alongside the movie. Apparently, this has been in development for 3 years, according to Zippo. They've known about the movie for at least that long. It's about the right amount of time to get a new 2D Mario game up and running, I would think. So, yeah, hopefully it really all I want is that art style to be something that is much closer to what we got when we were looking at the manuals for the NES or Super Nintendo games. Just really go super stylish, or go something that can like be super stylish across in many different ways across different levels. That would be pretty cool as well. But otherwise, it's like, I'm okay with just another 2D Mario game. I know a lot of people who actually are with you on the 3D Mario versus 2D Mario thing, but the 2D Mario games have sold a lot in the past, and they were outselling 3D Marios, at least up until this generation. I think that's probably changed permanently because there's been a generation of kids who've grown up playing 3D games with dual sticks and all this stuff, and Fortnite's the biggest thing in the world. So 3D Mario probably will be the big thing going forward, but that doesn't mean suddenly that audience that was buying millions and millions of copies of 2D Mario have gone away. So I expect Nintendo still to invest in that, right?
I was going to say, don't ever count out the millennials with the make a Mario Fortnite. God damn it, Dan. Don't discount the millennials with the what's the phrase when you got extra money to spend? I mean, not in this economy, but
disposable income.
Disposable income.
Yes.
Who want to feel like kids again.
Yep, that's definitely a big thing. Where it's like, they're going for that audience. They're going to hit that audience pretty. I mean, and now Mario's multi-generational. I got kids who like Mario, so. That's hit them with that, make it an easy game to play for them, but also just do the classic 2D Mario thing where it's like, yeah, getting to the end of the level pretty easy. If you want to get all the power ups, it's pretty hard. I like that. I think they'll probably do something like that again. All right, gamers, they are going to court to sue Microsoft to thwart its merger with Activision. This comes from Claire Jackson at Kotaku. The Clayton Antitrust Act of 1914 gives Americans the right to sue companies over anti-competitive behavior, a fact which 10 self-described gamers are using to take Microsoft to court, aiming to halt the company's acquisition of Activision. As reported
Sorry, did you say 10?
10 gamers.
Okay.
The 10 gamers are here to save us. As reported by Bloomberg Law, the complaint filed today and obtained by Kotaku states that plaintiffs, or video gamers as they're described, are concerned the Microsoft and Activision merger may substantially lessen competition or tend to create a monopoly. This merger, the complaint states, would specifically be in violation of Section 7 of the Clayton Act, which states that acquisitions that diminish competition are prohibited under U.S. antitrust law. There's more to this, but Lucy, what do you think? What do you think about all this?
Okay, well, first of all, they've done their damnedest to make us. I don't say us because I'm not involved in this lawsuit at all. Why are they calling it like? Why not just say plaintiffs? Why
the video gamers are suing?
Specifically point out that it's the gamers that are suing. Yeah. I mean, good luck to him.
Right.
You got the power of God, anime, and Xbox, Microsoft,
and Big Jimmy Ryan.
Yeah, God, anime, and Jim Ryan, and the gamers.
Holy Trinity.
I don't necessarily see this one working, but it's wild that you can go for that.
Yeah, this Warm Lettuce says, speaking of disposable income, yeah, okay.
Yeah, who's paying for that?
It's your right. It is. It's in the law. Do it if you want. I think that this could be interesting to see how they argue against it. I just think it's also probably a waste of your. I mean, they're already getting whatever. Yeah. You want to sue? Go ahead and sue. You could try to stop it. I think that some of their arguments are going to be pretty tough to muster. They want to lay out that. Console, PC, AAA gaming, and subscription services are all like different relevant markets, and I just think that stuff's going to be a really tough conversation to be able to prove in court, because especially like the subscription services, this is one that the FTC was bringing up, like, oh, that's a separate market, and Microsoft will have an advantage there. Well, you kind of can't just like, they're talking about cloud gaming even. It's like, well, you kind of can't do cloud gaming without doing the subscription service, and everything in the subscription service is available to purchase. These things aren't really relevant markets. They are just different ways of buying things. You could buy a house, or you can rent a house. It's all part of the housing market. Or you could buy a car. You can lease a car. It's all part of the automobile market. So they're going to have a difficult time proving this in court. But I still think it's interesting that they're going to try. As long as they're serious about this, and this isn't just some shitty forum posters being like, oh, we're going to go stop Microsoft because we want our Call of Duty. But I guess we'll see.
I don't have energy to do things that I am really interested in and that I care about,
Yeah.
So first of all, power to them for being just, this is a lot of planning.
Yeah, it's go-getters, right?
9 other friends.
Yeah.
9 other gamers. Do you think they're all in a Discord server?
Oh, 1,000%. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck to him.
Good luck to y'all.
Good luck to him. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I hope you don't lose a bunch of money and waste a bunch of time.
Yep. Or you spend a lot of money and the case just like gets dismissed without having anything ever happening.
Oh God.
Good luck to the gamers.
Good luck to the gamers.
EU regulators reportedly asked game companies how Microsoft's Activision deal could play out. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. Reuters reports that it's seen a 91-page questionnaire written by the European Commission designed to get information from companies more knowledgeable about the subject. According to a source.
What is a game?
What's that?
What is a game?
What is a game? Have things come a long way since Pac-Man?
Game's dangerous. God. 91 pages?
What's the difference between a Wii and a Wii U? Yes, a 91-page questionnaire that the EC sent out to companies that said, please tell us what the hell's going on here. They apparently reached out to manufacturers, publishers, developers, distributors, and providers of PC operating systems, which is like, we went to Linux,
like,
Apple, I guess?
Yeah.
Weird.
Or, I mean, good for them doing their due diligence.
Right. It's like better than just going in there and just firing off haymakers without knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
It's claimed that the survey, which asked for a response before Christmas, asks recipients, and I just lost my place on this. Let me bring that back there. It asks recipients about, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get back.
As recipients. Oh no, I lost it too. Wait.
It's okay. I hit the back button on my mouse, which I don't even know why that's there.
Which exclusivity strategies they think Microsoft would be able to carry out if it was able to acquire Activision Blizzard. Don't know why I put my newsreader voice on there.
But we're all super glad you did. We're wrapping up 2022 in style, everybody. Yeah, I mean. Well, yeah, they should be figuring out like what the actual competitors in this space think the landscape's going to look like. Now, a bunch of countries have done this already. Brazil did this. They talked to a bunch of companies, and every single company they talked to, except for Sony, was like, "We don't care about this." Like that was basically Brazil's exact words. And so it's like, yeah. That's probably what's going to happen
Brazil,
here.
Don't give a shit.
Right.
Brazil, 2 ticks, scene.
Yeah, dear Brazil, we don't care. Love video games. That's kind of how it went down. It's probably going to be pretty similar here, but it doesn't hurt to get the information. And I think it's important to be like, well, even if these other companies don't care, it's our job to like imagine a worst case scenario and then determine how likely that is. So I'm glad they're doing that, but it also makes it feel like, boy, this deal really isn't close to going away, isn't it? They're like, we need to figure out what a video game is, and then we'll make a decision. Like, oh God, we're in for another several months of this at the very at the least. Like, and then it's probably going to go beyond that. Microsoft has said recently they still think the deal's going to close by June, but what else are they going to say? They got
June.
Yeah, I mean that was their original time frame, right? It was like, oh, by next June it'll close, and
I guess so.
They're sticking to that. So I'm pretty skeptical of that now. Moving on, Triangle Strategy has now sold over 1 million copies worldwide. This is from Jimmy Norman at Nintendo Life. After releasing back in March of this year, Square Enix has announced that Triangle Strategy has now sold over 1 million copies worldwide. The game sold 800,000 units in its first 2 weeks of release, and then it's slowed down to this trickle of 200,000 copies since then. Since launching on Switch, it's also come to Steam. But 1 million copies for a game of this scale is probably like it's a hit, right? I mean, because not every game is God of War with just a massive 7-digit, 8-digit budget or whatever the hell it is. This is a game that it's one of the many smaller games that comes from Square Enix, and one of the reasons you do this is so you don't have to sell 10 million copies. You can get away with selling 1 million. And if all those games, if DioField Chronicles and Valkyrie Profile or whatever it is, sold 1 million copies each, I think Square Enix would be very happy. This game hitting that is probably pretty good, right?
Well, yeah, because this wasn't made in the West, so Square Enix will be happy. Oh, fucking no fucking email from Matsuda-san saying, oh yeah, no, it didn't perform.
God, that's so true.
The thing is the name. I still can't get over the name.
Yeah.
Triangle Strategy, okay? Tam offers his cringe check service for video games. I would like to offer my services as is that name good? Is that name good? Because I don't think Triangle Strategy is a good name.
No.
It's not very memorable.
You just call it like the Kingdom Hearts bullshit name detector service. And just like, are you sounding kind of like a bullshit Kingdom Hearts game? I could tell you if you are.
Kingdom Hearts 2.8 HD, final chapter prologue, a fragmentary passage. Excuse you?
Fucking bars. Wow. Look at her just drop that. Hell yes.
Why was I writing about Kingdom Hearts recently and I was reminded of that? Oh, I was doing like the PS Plus because all of Kingdom Hearts came to PS Plus a couple months ago, and I was like, oh yeah, that was a game name they put out there, huh? But Triangles, yes, I guess in context, Triangle Strategy, not too bad. But Very good for them. That is a good number. I mean, the slowdown is quite considerable, but maybe that just means that, you know, they really reached out to the people who really wanted to play that game, and like they snapped it up super early, like in those first 2 weeks. So
yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it would go with games from you know, the PlayStation 2 generation, where, you know, a lot of the sales would happen in that first week, and then things would slow down tremendously. Yeah, absolutely. Then someone pointed out, like, it's like this one is even like worse than Kingdom Hearts, because this was just like the project name, right? Project Triangle Strategy.
Project Triangle.
And they're like, oh, we'll just stick with that Project Triangle Strategy. Drop the project, and we're good. And it's like, why does that never happen with like the good project names? Project Dolphin. I wish what was the GameCube? I wish the GameCube was called the Dolphin. Like that would.
Dolphin.
That would. That's actually,
I mean, what was Forspoken was like Project ATVI. Anthem was Dylan. Wasn't
Really?
It? Yeah, because I think Dragon Age is Morrison or Joplin. They do musicians. Obsidian does. They used to do presidents, and now they do like what? Places. So like every studio has like a different way of doing like code names.
Sega had what was the Katana and the Dural and stuff like that for their systems.
Katana system, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the Katana was very good. A good name. Call that. Something should be called Katana. Absolutely. More from Nintendo Life. I was over there checking this story out, and then I saw that they were breaking down Nintendo's 5-day holiday indie event, which is happening right now. And they are keeping a running list of the games getting announced in this thing. This is going to wrap up on December 23rd, so we still have a couple more days on this. And I want to like create the opportunity to pay off the joke we made when we started the show. But let's start here with a couple of the games that have been announced. The Gecko Gods is coming out in 2023. This is an adorable puzzle platformer where you control a small gecko through a bunch of mazes. I might actually be able to bring this up. Let me do that real quick. News assets. There we go. The Captain, which is out now, a narrative adventure game where you'll need to make huge Mass Effect-like decisions that can affect who lives and who survives in space. Risk of Rain returns. It's coming out in 2023. It is a remaster of the 2020 or of the 2013 hit roguelike game. So they've done, they did Risk of Rain 2, which is like the 3D first-person shooter. They're going back to that 2D game and bringing that back out to other systems as well. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because that 2D or the 3D game is so popular. Why not have both going? Because they're pretty different from one another. And then the Punch-In, which is out now, a new puzzle game from developer of The Tourist and Fast RMX, where you control a penguin who punches boxes. The Punch-In, I think, is how you must be saying that then.
I don't know. Punch-In.
Yeah, like penguin, but Punch-In. So yeah, it's $15 out now. Let's take a look at the Punch-In here. There we go. People can see that. Okay, 2 more days. Actually, three more days, because we're probably getting games still announced today. Does this end on December 23rd with probably not Hollow Knight Silksong, but what about Sports Story?
You know what? I hope for everyone at home, eagerly awaiting Sports Story, that it does. Because that would just be a nice Christmas treat.
Yeah.
Fucking don't do it, though, because everyone else is off, okay? Everyone's done for Christmas. Everyone's phoning it in this week.
Oh yeah, we're not going to cover that shit. But
no one's covering that shit. But
you can put it out,
from
I guess.
Side of thing, you can put it out, but no one's covering that shit till January 3rd. So I hope so, because I guess they did say it was coming.
They did say it was coming.
Why would Nintendo lie?
Yeah, and they whenever that phrase is, I think of Spaceballs, and it's when the king isn't really the king, and would I lie? And he looks back and forth. It always gets me.
Would I?
Yeah, they said it was coming, and they haven't since said it wasn't or isn't. So it's like, okay, I guess we could probably safely assume something's happening there, right? But it's like maybe they're shutting up. Now, with the first game, Golf Story, they did kind of wait until the last minute, and they said, all right, it's coming out in 2 days. And then they released it 2 days later. And that's like, okay, that's pretty compelling.
When did that release?
That was like the first year of the Switch, and it was like September, I think, or October. I think it was September.
28th of September.
Yes.
Yeah, 2017.
Yep. And it worked for them. One of the best-selling indie games on the Switch. I think they want to, replicate that somewhat. Now, Also releasing 2 days before Christmas, not something that typically would have happened in the past. But things have, like, if you're a digital download only game, it actually is pretty beneficial to be a new game featured on the front of the store on Christmas Day when people are unwrapping new Switches and going online to look for stuff. This is something that has always worked for phone games and mobile apps. A lot of phone games and mobile apps get big updates on Christmas Day because they want to be at the top of your list. When you get your new phone, you're like, oh, I got to download all the stuff I need. And the store just shows you, well, you know, Fortnite just got an update. You should play that and Clash of Clans.
What's number one right now? What's number one right now? On the phone.
I mean, it's probably still like a Candy Crush Saga or something like that. It's been the same.
Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans. It's been the same games for literally a decade. Those games came out 2012-ish.
Roblox, Genshin, Royal Match, Clash Royale, and then
Yep. I mean, those games. A lot of games will get updates.
World of Peppa
Pig. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Peppa Pig.
Shout out to Pep.
Shout out to Peppers. Yeah, I think that they're probably like leaning into that and like thinking that could really work for them. It also probably gives them extra time to work on the game. So good luck. I really love Golf Story. If they drop Sports Story, I will play it on Christmas Day. That sounds like a good Christmas Day game. I will sit back in an easy chair of some sort and have a fire going of some sort and enjoy some golf or Sports Story. Excuse me.
Pink chair prepped. I'm going to move it around. I bought a big ottoman for my feet to just put them up, rest up, and just, you know, be at an incline, at an angle for 10 days.
Mostly horizontal.
That's what I want.
As infrequently vertical as possible is what I'm aiming for.
Well, actually, you know what I did do? Because I don't know how to relax properly as a human being. I made a big Asana project, essentially, of tasks that I want to do over the Christmas break.
Oh my God.
And I've arranged them by energy levels and how much energy I think they will take. So there's some things like...
It's like a 5-star system? Like, what is the system?
It's not stars, they're electric bolts because energy.
Dan in chat yelling, Asana is not a relaxing thing. Our rules just says all capital, Lucy.
Lucy. I've got Jan saying bravo and Dr. Girlfriend EXP. I love this idea, so thank you.
I do like the lightning bolts, absolutely.
Yeah, so if I want to feel productive, I can just, you know, do a 1-star thing. Like I've got some frames. I'm just going to put the pictures in the frames. One bolt. Easy.
Wait, how many bolts do you think you have to spend in a day?
Well, that's the thing. So I have chronic fatigue syndrome, and this is technically like one of the suggested ways of managing it. But the thing is, I feel like you can get way too into the weeds with it. And so if you're putting a shower down, I don't want to have to micromanage my life to that degree. But when it comes to tasks that I want to get done around my apartment, you know, I need a new rug for the kitchen because the kitchen flooring is god awful. That's you know, 2 stars because I have to research and then buy it. And so, you know, it was a fun afternoon I spent making this. And at the weekend, I went through my closet and I tried on a bunch of stuff and I budgeted 5 electric bolts for that. And let me tell you, it was 5. I was exhausted by the end of it, but then I got to mark it off as complete. So yeah,
that's got to be pretty satisfying. So hey, good strategies, they work.
Yeah, gamify.
This show takes about 3 lightning bolts, I'll say. I think so. Sifu is coming to Xbox and Steam alongside a new Arenas mode. This comes from Tom Ivan at VGC. Sifu will be released for Xbox consoles and made available on Steam in March 2023. This will accompany a Arenas mode, which is it sounds a little bit like a roguelite mode where you'll be able to go in there and get... I think they said like batches of things that change the way that your character fights. And I think that's going to last for as long as you're alive. But then you can unlock things like cheats and exclusive outfits by doing this mode as well. And I love this kind of thing, Lucy. Streets of Rage 4 did this, where they have basically a roguelite mode, and you go in there and you find different ways to upgrade your character as you're going until you die. But it's like, a great way to just keep playing this. And I'm like really glad that indie games have found this way to keep their content fresh without having to feel like they need to do massive DLC packs. Like, it's like, just put in some cool new modes and run with it. And I'm pretty excited about that. Were you ever a Sifu person?
You know, no. Sorry, I don't
No,
know
that ruled.
like, no, I have it. I didn't get around to it. It was a very busy year.
Yeah.
And I think, when did it come out? Was it March?
Let's see here. It came before making its way to Nintendo Switch in November. It was released in March.
February.
Sounds right. February.
No,
February. Yes, February.
I'm sorry. I was in the lands between.
All right.
Where I remained until June when I finished
That's right.
Elden Ring. Yeah.
You were
so
in your exile in the lands between, of course.
Game of the year.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, let's hit this last story. PS5 DualSense Edge promotional materials have begun coming out, not leaking. They've been getting posted by Sony, and they've been talking to some outlets like The Verge, who they said about the $200 controller that's coming January 26th, that the battery life would be moderately shorter than the standard DualSense controller.
Are you joking?
I am not joking. I'm very excited that this
sure?
is like your first time you're hearing this, because I wanted to get your reaction. Lucy, shorter than the controller that probably does have the worst battery life just out of the box of any controller. That's a threat, right? This is a threat.
Jesus Christ, on a crack. Yeah, I was just checking because I thought I saw something go through Frame.io yesterday. But yeah, we had a hands-on over at GameSpot. So if you want to go watch that, Jake, I believe, went to go see it. But
check that out, yeah.
Oh my God. So I will say, Sony sent me the review unit of the PS5 back in 2020. I have mine from pre-launch. I have like the first iteration. I have two controllers. They also sent me the dock. And honestly, I don't know how I would exist gaming on a PS5 without that dock, because I just constantly am swapping out my bloody my controllers because the battery life is shocking. I don't know why I went Welsh for that, but they are ridiculous, especially compared to the Pro controller, the Switch Pro controller, and my personal fave, the Elite Series 2.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking hell.
It's rough. I'm someone who.
How are you doing that? How are you releasing a controller that sounds like it's a sex toy?
Sure.
The DualSense Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Did no one think of that?
It sounds like a threat and a promise, and it sounds like a sex toy. It sounds like a condom brand. It's yeah, absolutely. It sounds like it's got one of those condoms that has like the oil inside that desensitizes you so you could last longer. Yeah, it's got that. It's got all that going for you. But $200 controller, Pro controller. People have been asking for this. It's going to sell well. I do think that you're right.
God,
that you need to get into that dock life. It's got to be docked. You got to dock your DualSense Edge because otherwise it will be dead the next time you go to pick it up for any gaming session. And I mean, obviously you can remember to plug it in. I'm someone who's bad at that, so I just assume everyone else is. I know everyone else isn't as bad as I am about that, but every time I pick up my DualSense, it is pretty much like it's not as bad as the DualShock 4 was, where every time I would pick it up, it would be dead. DualSense is like, no, I can pick it up and play for an hour, and then now it is dead because you didn't remember to charge it from last time. I'm like, God, I didn't play for like 4 hours last time. I played for like an hour. Why is it so shitty? So, but I do want to like pause and say, is this puddle news where before the thing is out, we focus on the thing that is like gives us anxiety, like the battery life? We all worry about battery life. People worry about the battery life for the Steam Deck, and I think they worried about it a lot more before they got their Steam Deck than once they get it and actually start using it. Is that going to be true here, where actually once you start using it, it'll be fine and you won't think about the battery life all that often?
I don't know, because in this scenario, we actually have a tangible thing to compare it against. Yes. Everyone who has a PlayStation 5 knows about the issues with the battery life on the DualSense controller.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I would have had quite the reaction if I hadn't already experienced issues with it. I totally get what you mean, though. I think I'll have to see what it's like in my hand, because, I didn't really care for the Xbox controller that came with the, part and parcel with the Series X, but I got the Elite Series 2, and that's like my favorite. So I maybe could deal with it depending if I just really enjoy the weight and feel of the controller. Because I do like the DualSense, but I go back and forth on it because it is way harder on my repetitive strain injury than because it's so smaller and my hands are more cramped. And it does include the USB cable. And so yeah, I'm just kind of looking at it now. Like, we'll see. I don't know if I'm ready to drop 200 on it just yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a Steam Deck dock first.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah,
But then I don't need one because oh god, I need to capitalism.
Hey, don't fear missing out unless you might really need it though. So maybe you should go.
No, I just spent $300 taking my cat to the vet because she had the shits, and then I got there and they went, "Oh, she's fine. She's just really sensitive."
Hell yeah,
and I was like,
cat.
what do you mean? What do you mean? And they went, did something change recently? And I said, yeah, I went away for 5 days. And they went, oh, so basically my cat's fucking hot girl tummy issues.
Oh no, oh poor kitty.
So she's fine.
I do love my my 8-bit dough ultimate because of the dock, and I'm like, I will probably be moving fully to every controller has to be docked from now on because of how much I've really enjoyed this. But the best part about this is you take it off the dock, it just immediately connects. It's ready to go.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it feels so good. It feels like, oh, it was built to work this way.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
All right, let's get to the polls. I'm going to bring this up. Would you subscribe to an ad-supported version of Xbox Game Pass to save money? 79.3% said no. 20.7% said yes. $3 with ads. Yeah, did you hear about this? What do you think about that?
I saw some scuttlebutt on it yesterday. I will say, yesterday, I had like a weird amount of work to do that I was wrapping up, and I wanted to get it all done yesterday because otherwise I'd be working more today. So yesterday I did. Don't know if you've mentioned on the show before, but we're in the middle of fucking annual reviews in the last week in this slug week where everyone is at their least productive. We're doing annual reviews. And so I had to do my self-reflection yesterday, and that took an alarming amount of time. Yep. And then I did my Giant Bomb Game of the Year list. And so I kind of didn't really see what was going on news-wise, but I did see a few people tweet about an ad-supported Game Pass. And honestly, the thing is that I was going to go for ad-supported Netflix because I, as the youngest member of the family unit, not including my nieces, I'm paying for... Hang on, there is 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people scrounging in various households from my Netflix. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna make us ad supported, And then the ad supported version was 720p, half of the catalog is missing, so not great. Mm-hmm. However, I'd be interested to see what the offering would be on an ad-supported Xbox Game Pass. Yes, so please.
They were saying that it would be, at least according to some internal docs, that the new day one Game Pass games that everyone else is going to get, you have to wait 6 months for. And I'm like, that's probably enough to get a lot of people to be like, why am I doing this? I'll just pay more or not pay at all.
Yeah. Now that Xbox actually has day one stuff coming,
right? 2023. It's like why wouldn't I would have done that 2022, no doubt, because who gives a shit? I'll just buy Pentiment. But otherwise, it's like 2023. It's like there's actually games coming. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I got Pentiment on PC, so
I did too. I played it on my Steam Deck, and that was
yeah, me too.
A hell of a way to play it, all cozy with that. Mike Minotti was beating it the other night, and he was sending me texts about like, oh, this is so cozy when he was at the Christmas scene. No spoilers.
Oh, yeah,
and he was like, he had his Christmas tree all set up next to it. I'm like, yeah, it's a cozy part of the game. Absolutely.
Played it in bed. It was like a little bedtime.
Yes,
story.
Absolutely. Like just like intimate with it, up in your face. I love that. It was a good experience.
Can you get Game Pass on?
You could do the cloud streaming thing if you download the Edge browser and stuff. There's also other ways to do it, I think, but it's not super straightforward. You could always install Windows on your Steam Deck, which I'm never gonna do.
I know. I'm still trying to do Epic Game Store stuff and Proton and everything. But...
Yeah, no, that still is just kind of a mess. The bigger games actually struggle with that still. All right, here's my poll for next year, because this is the last episode of the year, everybody. So thank you everybody for who's been watching, you know, since we started this and making it such a fun thing to do. A lot of you tune in every day. A lot of you watch and listen later. I appreciate it. I want to know, will 2023 be the best year, one of the best years for gaming ever? I think we just go with a yes, no for that.
Yeah. Yes, no. Too many options. Redoing poll.
Yes, too many options. Redoing poll. Yeah, redoing. There we go. That's what I'll have room for. That's fine, though. Let's just hit a random number of days. 7 is the most we could do. So let's hit that. Game Mess Mornings. Lucy, what do you got? We have nothing going on, right? But like, what do you got going on?
There is a very unhinged episode of Jeff Jeff's Bizarre Adventure today. Where, I mean, I'll read you the Discord message, which I sent before we recorded, which was very phallic couple of episodes, a lot of cum adjacent substances.
Hell yeah.
So let's just say that was the starting off point before we even recorded, and it went downhill from there.
Yeah, get to that good stuff.
Yes, so it was a very fun episode. Also, our last episode of Jeff Jeff's for the year. We'll be back again in the new year. Other than that, I'm going out for some Christmas drinks with the girls tonight. Very excited.
That's fun.
And I'm basically just catching up with all of my tasks, my Christmas task list. And then, just all of these gifts behind me as well. I have to wrap those. I mean, don't tell Jen and Greg, but I accidentally got Ben something that's like way bigger than I thought it was gonna be. So sorry.
That's a good godmother right there. That's the way to be.
Good godmother.
Absolutely. Take over the house with your gifts.
Yeah. I mean, this one can technically live outside, so it's fine.
Okay.
And so I'm just gonna chill out. Play some games.
Yeah.
I didn't cry there. I kind of burped. I'm sorry.
That's part of the show.
If it sounded like I cried, I want to play Plague Tale Requiem really badly. I've been saving that for when I can just, zone out and play. Right. Norco's another one. And then I'm just gonna relax. Maybe try to. Don't think that's possible.
Yeah,
what are you doing? You got.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go. Yes, yeah. I'll be looking at some Christmas lights, but mostly just staying in, enjoying, like getting a bunch of presents for the kids, and then just staying in, enjoying that stuff. I want to see Avatar 2. I want to see that. I don't care. I want to see it.
I don't care.
I don't care what anyone says. You can't stop me, Lucy. I'm gonna go see it.
We were gonna watch Avatar and then go see 2 in like this double bill, but then Tam unfortunately got sick, so we didn't. And so now I feel the rush to watch Avatar 2 has kind of left me.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what I am doing. This is boring. This is an insight as to who I am as a person, is that I struggle a lot with choice paralysis. And so I need a way to kind of push me into doing things. So I'm going through the IMDb top 250, and I'm using a number generator, and whatever it lands on, I'm just going to watch that movie. And so I started that last night.
What'd you watch?
I watched 7. I mean, I've already seen 7.
Okay.
I was originally going to do no repeats, but then it landed on 7, and I was like, dude, I'm going to fucking watch 7.
Hell yeah.
So I'm kind of doing that. And that's, I'm also working on a little cross-stitch project for someone as a gift. So a lot of very chill things going on.
That's that's good stuff. I'm gonna try to take it easy, maybe do some work around the house, and we'll see, and play some games like you said. But thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. Lucy, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and talking about video games and throughout this entire year. It's been fantastic. Like getting to know you all, just as I started at Giant Bomb and then doing this show and just kind of making it a regular thing. It's been really good.
Yes, I completely agree. That's why I said this has been one of my favorite years in terms of connecting and reconnecting with friends. Yeah. And I think Giant Bomb is a huge part of that. So thank you everyone who has been along for the ride this year, because what a ride it has been. Absolutely. And again, thank you audience for tuning in. You are the best audience in gaming. It's been really fantastic to do the show for you. Until next time, until 2023, have a good one. Take care of yourself. And goodbye.